Hi, Danielle. So my name is Jalen Bryant, and I'm your social worker. I know last time we spoke, it was mostly on the phone. So in this visit, I would just simply like to check in with you and just review what we discussed the last time, just to make sure that we're on the same page and that so that we can move forward with this. And then I just have a couple of things that I would like to discuss with you based on the conversation that we do have today. So I just kind of want to start off with the how have you been? Well, that's very good. I'm certainly glad that you're doing better than you were yesterday, showing progress, and it's showing that you are able to identify when you're having good and bad days, so that's a good start. Is it okay if we go over the view and discuss what we did last time? Okay, that's good. Let's begin. So last time you told me that your name was Danielle Allen. You are a black 19-year-old female. You are originally from Michigan, but you are currently living in Oklahoma right now because you're a freshman in college. So just to kind of go more into the issue that we discussed at hand, you told me that in your first semester that you were sexually assaulted at a party, but you can barely remember it due to being intoxicated at the time. You had tried to reach out to friends and people at the party to tell them what happened, and then for people at the party just kind of ask questions, and most people just kind of denied it, or they didn't want to answer any of the questions that you had, most of them using the reasoning because that you were drunk that night and that it was the boy that you were saying assaulted you was somebody that people knew that you had a crush on. So that's kind of like the main start of the situation. And then this has led to you starting to use to smoke marijuana and drink alcohol a lot more frequently than you would and you normally did. Just to cope with your feelings is what you said. And you also say that your grades have begun to slip and that you have actually begun contemplating dropping out of college at this moment. You said this is mainly due to the situation and the fact that your friends have stopped talking to you, which has left you feeling very, very lonely and very much so still invalidated about the whole assault in and of itself. But you did say that one of your best friends from back home that you were able to confide in did tell you that you should talk and reach out to a professional to kind of help with your coping skills and find some better and safer ones to use. So I'm glad that that's how we got here. And so is that just kind of wraps up your story in the situation that we're in right now? Is that pretty accurate? Okay, that's good. Just kind of want to make sure I fully understood the story and had everything accurately as much as you could tell me. With that being said, today I would just kind of like to address the sexual assault, as in what all you can remember, and then as far as how you felt then and how you feel now about the whole situation. I would also like to discuss with you your drug and alcohol use for your coping, just to make sure that we're not going into towards risky behaviors, and if we are, the way we can catch them and properly treat them at the moment. So just going off of that, I would like to start with some of the intervention programs that I would like to do, and one of them being the SBIRT model, which does go into measuring how frequently you are using drug and alcohol, just so that we understand where you are, and like I said, just to kind of prevent any very long-term risky behaviors from being started. We just want to make sure that that we are not using these as coping, and that way we can find better coping skills for you in replace of them. The other approach that I would like to use is motivational interviewing, which would just allow for us to have open and honest dialogue with each other, and for you to have that free and open space to tell your story, your feelings about everything that happened, and especially about feeling rejected and invalidated about the whole entire situation. And I just want to make sure that you have somebody that will be here to listen to you and definitely validate your feelings in this situation. I do believe that these approaches in of themselves will be able to help you open up about your experience. That would make this healing process a lot easier for you. I do believe that these also will help you better your coping skills, your communication skills. It will help you get back on track with your schoolwork, as well as helping you feel and just feel more at home and more safe on your college campus after that whole incident happened. And hopefully it'll help you meet new people and join new organizations that will be a better support system than the first ones that you created upon arriving at this campus. With that being said, these are all just to help you with them, and these are just like little suggestions, and this is just going to be for something for you to plan to make sure that you are taking back control of your life, your emotions, and your energy, and that you are putting them towards something that you want to do and that they're benefiting you in the most beneficial way possible. And that's what I'm here for, just to make sure that we are getting you where you need to be the best person that you can be. I really won't have any handouts or any papers or any like homework for you to take. The only thing that I will be giving for you is just little cards from the expert. It's just supposed to have alcohol on one side, and it's just going to tell you different pros and cons about alcohol use, proper alcohol amounts for female and males, depending on which type of alcohol you are drinking, from beer to hard liquor. And then on the other side, it would just have drugs, like drug information for pros and cons of using drugs, the different types of drugs and how they affect you and your body. And just so that way you can have those for you, so that way if you feel like using them, you can kind of see what it is doing, but also just know the proper and the safe amount to use in that moment, so that way you are not putting yourself at risk. I hope that these interventions in this talk today just sound good to you. We can think about these and their approaches and being used later. So I really just hope that this conversation was beneficial.